Welcome to episode 99 of the Clarity Compressed podcast. My name is Paul J. Daly, and I will be your host. And today we're talking about putting the big rocks in first. Clarity can only really exist in the light of truth. Branding just isn't a tactic. It's a lifestyle change.
Today's moment of clarity comes from someone I love to follow in social media and really life in general. His name is Bob Goff. Look him up. You'll be glad you did. But basically, he had a post that said, "Everyone has an opinion. Be an example." And what I like about this is there's so many people talking and opinions everywhere we look, but not a lot of doing and not a lot of people we can look to and say, that's who I actually want to model after. I think your doing to talking ratio should be at least 3-1. So as someone who puts a lot of content out, that means I better be doing a lot as well. And I think that we could all benefit from following that because words are cheap, opinions are cheap, everybody has one, but everyone isn't an example. So what do you want to be? What do you think it should be? Go and do that. That's the moment of clarity.
I'm so excited for what he's gonna show me. Hurry up and show me Paul's pick.
Yo, what's up? Paul's pick for this week is showing a little appreciation. I'm standing right now, if you can't see, because you're listening, in front of the demolition projects going on at what will be our new agency space. And this morning, I just brought some donuts. Why? Because there's a huge ROI on appreciation. So find somebody who is underappreciated and appreciate them today. That's my pick for today.
Okay, so we're just getting through the holidays. We've gone through the Christmas nuts. We've gone through the New Year's insanity. And now we are kind of in that weird stage between right after New Year's when everything's just getting going. The machine's getting fired back up. And everybody's excited about their resolutions and their motivation. And last year is gone. It's a new year. Not only a new year, it is a new decade. And everybody's rolling hard forward. So today, we're talking about getting the big rocks in first. So here we are rolling into the new year, and I am in full out, all in, setting the tone mode. And I mean setting the tone for my family, setting the tone for me personally in 2020, setting the tone for Congruent, my agency. Setting the tone really comes from defining clearly, this is where the clarity comes in, clearly defining the truth. Clarity is the truth, and it's not your truth, but it is the actual truth of what you're capable of. In our agency now, we call it honesty. It's the honesty. It's the truth about what you actually are capable of, what you actually want, not because somebody else wants it for you or you feel guilted in that you should want this for somebody else. I struggle with that, admittedly. There's one illustration, and I don't know who the heck came up with it. I did not come up with it, but I haven't heard it in a long time. And it's a very clear illustration. It's a great visual, and it's really going to become the center point of my mission planning for my life personally, for my life with my family, and for my business. And here it is. Here's the illustration. So picture you have a 5-gallon jug, and all of a sudden you take large rocks. So I'm saying rocks that are about, let's say, the size of your fist. And you fill that 5-gallon jug with these fist-size rocks until it's full, right to the top. And the jug is actually, we'll pretend the jug is glass so you can see right through it. So now you have a 5-gallon glass container that is full to the top with rocks that are about the size of your fist. That jug is now full, right? Everybody says, yes, the jug is full. Well, then I pull out a container full of small pebbles, and I pour that into the container that has all the big rocks in it. And now the pebbles start to find their way in between the big rocks, and it fills now to the top. It's much more densely packed. You thought there was no more room, but there actually was room for all those pebbles. Well, now the jug's full, right? Everybody says, right. Well, then I pull out a container of sand, and I pour the sand in the top. And now the sand makes its way through all the pebbles and fills in the space between the pebbles that was filling in the space between the big fist-sized rocks. Now, certainly, the container is full, right? And everybody says, right. And then I bring out a container of water. And I pour the water into the big 5-gallon glass container of rocks and pebbles and sand. And wouldn't you know it, that a lot of the water now fills up this container because there was a lot of space between the sand that was between the pebbles, that was between the fist-sized rocks. And now it is full. Here's the point of that. Now, all the doers in the audience are going to say this. What does it prove? Well, it shows you that you can always fit more in. Wrong. That is not the point. Don't read that. You have enough to do. If you're listening to this podcast, you're not a lazy person. So it's not saying that at all, that you can always fit more in. Here's the point. You have to put the big rocks in first, or you'll never get the big rocks in. They will not fit. If I put the water in first and the sand in first, or the pebbles in first, the big rocks cannot fit. So the clarity is, what are the big rocks in your life? Okay, let me give you some examples of big rocks in a few different areas. We'll do one for personal, and then one's maybe for your family. So personal, when I say like you, yourself, family, loved ones, significant others, etc., and then business. So some big rocks for your personal life. For some people, a big rock might be waking up early, because they know when they wake up early that they feel better about the day and get more accomplished. That could be a big rock. Another big rock could be making time for a hobby on a regular basis. So it could be, I'm going to spend 3 hours a week with my leather crafting. It could be a fitness one. So those are some big rocks, knowing that if you have those things in place, that everything in your life is going to be healthier. All the ancillary things are going to be healthier. Let's talk about relationships. So for my wife and I, we have 3 kids of our own, and we have a foster baby, a newborn. And so life is busy. On top of that, my wife homeschools the kids. No, we don't make our own clothing. She homeschools the kids, and we own a business. So it's like there's a lot going on at our house. So one of our big rocks as a family and as a relationship are the fact that my wife and I are going to date on a regular basis, and we've determined that amount. And then quarterly, we're going to try to get away for an overnight. And we think if we have that big rock in place, then everything else in our family is going to run better and more. It's just going to be a better environment. Why? Because we have time to communicate, decompress, enjoy one another's company, and walk through life, not just always shoulder to shoulder, just working, but a little bit of face to face and building that in. That's a big rock that we know if we do that, the other stuff gets better. Business. Let's talk about business. So business, big rocks. One of those, a big rock for business, could always be look at the profitability every single month or every single week or whatever interval. Like look at the profitability, examine the profitability, and make decisions based on profitability. Now, that's not every company's goal every month or every quarter, because sometimes there's an investment, so we know we're not going to be profitable. But one of the things actually with Image Auto, it was a big moment when I made profitability a big rock in our company because we were in growth mode. It was easy to ignore profitability because we were like, we're growing. So if profitability metric is a big rock, make sure it goes in. So point being, it is 2020. We're 1 week in, and I'm thinking about putting the big rocks in first. If you haven't done it, I think this is a great time. I would suggest for you to put the big rocks in first. Thank you for listening to episode 99 of the Clarity Compressed podcast. It would mean the world to me if you haven't subscribed to the email list. If you go to claritymcompressed.com and put your email in, you get kind of a weekly digest, and we're going to put a lot more effort into that too over this next year. And you also will get the show in your email inbox when it launches. So you're kind of the first to know it's out. So claritymcompressed.com, sign up for the email list. It'd be awesome just to be connected that way. I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great week. I hope you get the big rocks in first this year. And next week is a huge week, week 100. Talk to you soon.
Yeah.